apologize.
No worries.
Okay, so thank you very much for the opportunity to get together this morning, and we're going to focus on recruitment and the information that Pulse has for you from your Oregonian audience survey. So let me repeat that. We asked a breadth and depth of recruitment questions in the Oregonian print and digital audience survey we did back in August. And so we have information that is about and reflective of the recruitment plans of your audience. And what we're going to go over this morning is how right now today, live in your Pulse program, you can access that recruitment information and tell an extremely compelling story, you know, to employers and others about the ability you have to reach qualified applicants for their positions. How's that sound? You guys ready?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I presume you can see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, so Pulse is set up essentially to do retail presentations, so the wording isn't perfect, but the information is great, okay? And so my suggestion would be to access and create a recruitment presentation with your information within Pulse. Click on accounts up on the top. So I'm clicking on accounts. So what I want to do is I want to set up a business account that I want to share the opportunity of what we can do for them in reaching qualified applicants, okay? So I click on accounts, and then I'm going to click on new account. And I'm just going to set up, and I'm going to just call this Test Portland Area Employer, okay? So step number one is just putting in the name of an account, okay? And then it's in there forever and you can follow up presentations. Then we need to do something that is unique. It's kind of a workaround to be able to access the employment information. We click on business type here, and we're gonna type in seeking employment. That'll get us into your Oregonian recruitment, employment, research information, okay? So then we click on seeking employment, and then we click on add account. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, then great. Then I'm gonna click on create presentation within the account. That's one way of very quickly creating the presentation. I set up the account, and then I click on create presentation. Okay, I'm going to create a flyer presentation, which is the simplest, fastest presentation of Pulse. Then I click on view connect flyer. And by the way, we're recording this, so don't worry if I'm going fast. Okay, so view connect flyer, and presto, we have a recruitment presentation for you. Okay, now I said the words aren't exactly right here because the base default template presentation is more retail centric, but it's got the information. Look at this. You reach 51,000 households who said yes, they plan on seeking employment in the next 12 months. So from your survey, 13.9% said they are going to seek new employment, change employment. And so 13.9% times the 36,500 households, that's 51,000 households you reach. That is a very positive grab their attention because they're desperately looking for one person, right? Then it gets even better. We also asked about what type of employment category. And the default presentation has get a full-time job. You got 10% of your audience looking for a full-time job. That's 37,000. Part-time job, 8.3%. And then we've got specific job categories. To make this presentation exactly what you want, you just click here on the editing button. So we click on editing. It takes us right into your research. And so these are the employment fields we asked about, and the percentage who said, yes, this is the employment area that they're looking for. So now all you have to do is, if you've got a business that's looking for a management position, great. You click there. If they're looking for a healthcare position, there. Grocery, government, executive, you get the idea. Look at all the employment categories, everything from automotive, banking, ag, engineering, entry level, restaurant, retail, et cetera, okay? And then we've got some additional employment plans, okay? Apply for a temporary job, you know, use a career counselor, et cetera, okay? Any questions on editing the presentation? Just
I like all those
fine-tune.
categories.
Isn't that beautiful? Because you can just zero right in on exactly the type of position they want to fill. So, I mean, you could just go zero right in on banking. Okay.
Yeah, that's my question. So say, for example, on an individual status, an employer, right? I would deselect all of that and click on maybe like construction.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, and to show you how to do that, we just go back, you know, we just go down to the bottom and click on update. And now it's updated the presentation, and then you can click off on anything you want. Let's say we click off on part-time. We click off on skilled laborer. Okay, we click off on, you know, managing executive, restaurant, et cetera. So you've got exactly what you want.
So Sylvie, this might be a question for you, but up at the top, we said, you know, of the 981,000 adults that our publications reach, of those, we're talking about households. What calculation are we using? A 2.5 pass along rate per household, or are we using a 3? Because at this point, a household is strong, but it's not as strong as the number of candidates. And so this would be,
Right.
I would like to tweak it to people, not households. So what equation are we using for that?
I'm not sure. That might actually be a John question.
It was from Scarborough. So what we did was you gave us from your Scarborough audit the number of adults you reach, and then from the Scarborough audit, they also gave us the number of, you know, readers per, you know, per household. And from that's
Makes
how
sense.
we extrapolated.
Okay, I'll reach out to Leslie and find out what that number is from the Scarborough data.
But the question was asked, this is kind of a gray area. The question was asked, you or somebody in your household plan to change or get a new position? Okay, because that's the way the whole survey was set up. You or somebody in your household plan to get a car, plan to change or, you know, get a new realtor, get a new dentist, etc. Okay, so it wasn't an exclusive recruitment survey or was focused in on a person. These were questions that were part of your big survey, which was a shopping survey, and we're asking of the household. Okay, so we know.
So
we know
if we were to take this and tweak this, I could say at least 51,000 people
you got it.
are looking for a new job.
And that's what I was going to say. At least that's the absolute minimum, because we asked of the household. But obviously, in many of the households, there's more than one person who's seeking employment. Okay. I mean, so we got to work with what we've got. The great news is we've got a hell of a base here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. And so that is the quick, fast way. And then you can just click here on phone call, you know, and it gives you some of the words to say. Okay. You know, we asked recruitment questions. Do you plan on seeking employment? We got over 51,000 households, you know, that we reach who said, yes, they planned at least somebody, one person, you know, in the house. There's probably more. And then it just gives a couple talking points. But then if you got the flyer in front of you and you're talking to them on the phone, you can just nail it with whatever specific focal points of opportunity. So if you're talking to that banker, you know, we've got over 3,600 households who at least one person in that household is looking for a banking financing position. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely opens up doors. I mean, I use that. So.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to pause here and I want to answer any other questions of what we've covered so far. Then there's another level of what we can do, and because we asked in your survey, also asked in your Oregonian survey, if you were looking for a job, which of the following employment sites would you go to? And it's highly fragmented. You know,
That would be perfect to show.
Okay, between LinkedIn, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, on and on and on. Okay. So then we can show you what's missing, of your audience. So if they say, well, we're in Indeed and, we've got ZipRecruiter, we can show you what percentage of the Oregonian opportunity is missed if they don't also place that opening with you. Okay. So let me do this. Let me click off here. And now I'm going to go back to accounts. Okay, and it was Portland area employer. So I'm going to click here. And I'm going to come down here and create presentation again. But this time I'm going to create the one page. Okay, and the one page, the difference is that I can pick up. And what we want to do is we want to hide, and I'm glad I recorded this. Remember, we're taking a retail presentation and making it, recruitment centric. So we want to hide campaign details. Because we, in the Pulse program, when you're presenting to a car dealer, you want to show them, well, how many, cars do you need to sell and what's the dollar opportunity, et cetera. So we need to turn that off. So then it gives you your recruitment specifics. Once again, you can edit by clicking on the X. You can add more and get into the research by clicking on more. But then we want to get into the competitors, the competitive employment sites. So we click on media. Okay, then we're going to come over here and we're going to click on employment. Once again, this isn't a pure recruitment presentation or program because we're piggybacking on to your full program. So we fortunately asked about employment sites. So this is the percentage who would not use. Okay, so let's open it up. Okay, so example, 81.6% of your audience said if they were searching for employment openings, 81.6% would not use LinkedIn. 93.2% would not go to ZipRecruiter. Okay. Indeed, 76.8% would not. Highly fragmented, hugely fragmented. Okay, so let's click here, LinkedIn, or Indeed, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, good old Facebook. Okay.
And John, is this respondents that we asked, or is this pulling in information from somewhere else?
This is your audience.
Okay.
So this was asked of your audience. If you're seeking a job, which of the following employment sites would you go to? Okay, so it's of your audience, which makes it obviously even more compelling. So then we click on finish. Then we come down here and click on save presentation. So we've got the 51,803. We've got the specifics on the job categories once again that we've edited, et cetera, et cetera. But now we've got in the presentation the talking points. Well, I saw you were on Indeed. We asked the Oregonian audience, which sites would you go to? Indeed, LinkedIn, Craigslist, ZipRecruiter. I think you'll agree with me. It's highly fragmented. Lots of different sites. Okay. Indeed reaches. 23% of our audience said they would go to Indeed. So if 23% said they would go to Indeed, that means that 77% of our audience would not. Okay, so we've got 5,513 households who, yes, are looking for an executive position. 77% of those, roughly 3,900 households, 3,900 households that we reach who are looking for an executive position would never see your job on Indeed. And that's the message. You've got a huge exclusive reach opportunity. Okay. So if I was on your team, I'd be excited. You've got the talking points to grab their attention. Why? Because unfortunately, many employers think that print is dead. Even with your website, we've got to go with this, with Indeed. We got to go with ZipRecruiter. We got to go with, blah, 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 right? So we can put major holes in that comfort zone of theirs by saying, look, number one, we asked our audience. We found out that 51,000 at least 51,000 are looking for jobs. You've got an executive job opening. We've got 5,513 households who said yes, there's somebody in their household is looking for an executive position. Let us help you fill it. Okay? So it's live and ready right now. Okay?
That's really nice. I know we've been having conversations around when our employers are going to just one job platform to place their listings. That's really kind of missing the boat because not everybody goes to that one specific job platform. So it's helpful to see that here, you know, that 77% said that they did not plan on using Indeed as a place to post their listings or as a place to look for jobs.
Well, and so that's when we're making these statements, we need to position the information in the data is extremely helpful, right? 100%. But we need to change the talking script because we do sell postings and we don't want to not do that. So, you know, the story we need to tell is only 23% of the market are going to job boards. So how do you go beyond the job board? And that's through our publications or our website. So we need to tweak the wording because I don't want to say this and then say, but I'd love to sell you a posting on Indeed, right? That'll kind of be counterintuitive. So I think the intel is really, really strong here and gives us a lot of data and stats to open the doors to start conversations. Definitely.
And don't worry about, you know, the headline up here, you know, to help you business find ideas to get new revenue. Because we've locked in, we got to use the default template. If you guys like this program and you use it down the road, we do have an exclusive recruitment program that all the wording is correct, etc. Okay.
Oh my goodness! And why are we doing it?
Well, I will send Sylvia.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Sylvia, I will send you an example and some pricing on it for you and Greg. Okay.
You know, I see a value to this.
Sure,
I don't know I'd want to show the client the 77%, you know, maybe a bit of that, maybe just Indeed, or I'm not sure, but it is fragmented. So they want to be on all the sites that we can put them on, the 30 plus sites, because it is so fragmented. Does that make sense, Kim?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll work on this data, you guys, and putting into scripts to
Okay.
get in the door, show how we can help in every step, active, passive, and branding for the employer.
Because John, we actually sell, do we sell all four of those? Well,
Yes.
they're not, yeah. We sell packages usually where they're on multiple sites.
But Kim's point is valid that there is an exclusive audience that you reach who isn't on Indeed, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Facebook. And we could probably ask the computer to, you know, to do an analysis and come up what's the net. Okay. So out of the primary employment site, what is the percentage who would use none of them? Would that be helpful?
Yes, and I'm wondering if, you know, the next time we ask the question, if you're not using these, where are you going?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, this is your audience, so we know that they're reading the Oregonian, they're on Oregon Live.
Right, but I guess the question is, when you're learning, are you reading articles to find out about culture? Are you looking at display ads saying, hey, now we're hiring to take a direct action? How are they using the publications we have to apply for those jobs? What's most important? Is it the culture? Is it the pay? Is it the job title? Is it working remote? Those kind of things, because again, pre-COVID, during COVID, and now that we're going out of COVID, everything's going to shift again, and we got to figure out where that fallout is.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, we can use all of this data and make the talk tracks and still make it really, really compelling to show that, yes, here's how you do it, because people are still reading the paper and are on Oregon Live. So that's how you capture that pocket you're missing. But it would be interesting to see the reverse of that, or how we can reverse engineer the numbers to say, of this, the rest are going here.
Let me to repeat, the information in the presentation is a piggyback on your, essentially your shopping survey and presentation base. For Lee Enterprises, with their recruitment team, their corporate Lee Enterprises recruitment team, we did put together a recruitment focused only research survey.
Right. You and I worked on one of those, John, for our market.
Yeah.
Right.
And so anyways, we did field it. And we asked all of those additional questions relating to culture and the process and on and on and on. And then we put together a presentation that is recruitment centric. You know, takes out the revenue words, and it's just it's something you could actually send out because it's recruitment. So I'll get you guys information on that, and you know down the road if you want to consider that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank
But
you.
right now today, you are live, ready to go. You've got phenomenal facts that I am very confident will grab the attention and get you more recruitment business.
Quick question. Was trying to do this side by side, and I emailed myself the email that is pre-populated, and the subject line says, "I need a job." And I was just wondering, how do we can edit that? Is that what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's just meant as a starting point, and just to cut and paste and then tweak and edit. Yes. Okay. So good question. Good point. So anything else that I can assist with today? More than happy to.
Thank you.
Okay.
This has been great.
So
Yeah, this has been really helpful. Thank you, John.
okay, and so I've recorded this. I'll send it to you guys, and if I can help in any way, it's Marling, M-A-R-L-I-N-G, Marling@paper.net.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Okay,
Thank you,
thanks, everybody.
John.
Thank you. Bye.
Good
Bye.
to see you again. Bye for now.